we seek a so-called perfect society, then we must look to the community of bees. For here there is no ego, no competition, no individual need. Each coming into this world with an instinctive understanding that he must support the rest. The foundation of this society is the worker, a sterile female born to the legacy of continual toil until, after just 3 months, she dies of exhaustion. Next, there are the drones, potent and beautiful males, pampered by the workers for their singular function of mating with the queen. So specialized is their function that they are unable to eat by themselves and must be fed mouth to mouth by the workers. Larger and more imposing than the rest, it is the queen who gives the hive its energy and purpose. She is the only reproductive female, therefore the very life's blood of the species. Tending her with selfless concern, all seem to know that only so long as she lives, so lives the hive. To demonstrate the extent of this concern, I remove the queen from her flock of loyal subjects. Immediately, there is a unanimous cry of outrage. But as the news filters down through the ranks, the workers begin to act. Selecting the larvae of ordinary workers, they feed them with royal jelly, a substance which will turn the commoners into queens. As the larvae will now grow larger, royal chambers are prepared, a gigantic nursery to nurture the only hope for their questionable future. In a matter of weeks, the first 2 queens are born. Though mere infants, they will immediately be forced to fight for their right to inherit the throne. Clustering around them, the workers act as seconds, crowding them together so they will fight to the death, but pulling them apart so that both will not die. It is a purposefully designed test of strength. Only one queen can reign, and it must be certain she is the stronger. Suddenly, the contest is over. The queen is dead. Long live the queen. Now the workers carry out a grim task. Ripping open the remaining royal chambers, they lustily devour the larvae they have so carefully tended, destroying forever pretenders to the throne. But if the hive is to endure, the virgin queen must mate. Pushed outward to the sky by the excited mob of drones, she soars high above the rest, enabling only the strongest among them to reach her side and mate. The ceremonies ended, the queen too begins a life of servitude. Moving across the endless expanse of honeycomb, she begins to deposit eggs. From now until the day she dies, this will be her life. Celebrated but enslaved, an object of worship only so long as she serves. In the perfect society, there is neither emotion nor mercy. Precious space cannot be wasted on those who have outlived their usefulness. Having mated with the queen, the drones are now dispensable. One by one, they are hunted down by the army of workers, captured and cruelly cast out to die. Unlike the society of man, the bees are in harmony with their environment, cooperating to serve it, so it will serve them. To the flowers that feed them, bees are messengers of procreation, taking sweet nectar in exchange for carrying pollen on their legs from one plant to another, acting as the link between male and female for a life form that cannot touch. When one bee finds a rich bounty of nectar, she shares it with all. In a dance of exacting language, she informs them of its precise location, the distance, the direction, even the particular variety of flower. In this way, when one dies, no secret dies with her. Whatever each has learned will be contributed to the success of the whole. In the cooperative society, the fate of each is the destiny of all. But nature is indifferent to utopia. A predatory wasp called the bee wolf must raid the hive to sustain its own young. Like bizarre killing machines, the wasps yank the defenders from the hive and crush them in their huge jaws. For all their ingenuity, the bees are helpless, falling by the hundreds to the unreasoning brutality of nature's plan. Each worker bee can sting only once at the cost of her life, and the wasps must be stung many times. Man will point to nature, claiming war was meant to be. But here they died with reason, through selflessness, not greed. In the developing young, the blueprint of a cooperative society is etched with permanence. For here each generation comes into this world as a continuation of the last, each individual a mere extension of the rest. Without the burden of intellect, emotion, or individual identity, these creatures were given something we weren't, the knowledge that they must work together to create the elusive utopia. The perfect society.